What's up, everyone, and welcome back to TRL Technical Request Live. I'm your host, Dustin, and this pro sitting next to me is Manny. This is the only stream coming to you nightly where we tear down the confusion and build up your knowledge by answering your questions live.
For the next hour, your questions are the mission. Whether you're an expert builder and looking for advice on which GPU to upgrade to, or you're just starting out and want to tackle your very first build, we are here for you. This is a weeknight tradition every Monday through Friday starting at 9 p.m. Central. Let's take a moment to cover how the next hour will go. Drop your questions in the chat right now as we are just getting going. Any question that is most relevant, we will do our best to answer. As we grow, we will start targeting more questions in Daily Focus as well. Hit that like button, it helps more people find the stream. And if you're new, subscribe to the channel, you won't want to miss an episode.
And at the end of the episode, we will spotlight a fantastic gaming PC from our sponsor, glitchon.com. If you're interested in this specific PC or one like it, glitchon.com can help you find the best solution for your PC needs. All right, it's time to watch that chat light up. TRL is officially live. Let's see what we've got. Manny, how's today going, man?
Oh, it's going fantastic.
Let's do
Keeping up this tradition and excited to see what we're gonna go over today.
Heck yeah. Well, today is, you know what? Let's find out what today is. Today is Tune Up Tuesday. And what that means is that we're going to be taking a look at some software and how we get our PC up and running. Whether you're just getting into the builds or you're, upgrading your PC from an older version of Windows, whatever it may be. We're going to talk a little bit about how to get into Windows up and running on your PC, what that looks like, and any additional software pieces you might need. Manny, I got asked a question today that was more or less around kind of the same thing that I talked about yesterday, but it was another question about, hey, I'd like to get into gaming PCs, but I don't know where to start. Can you help me? And my first initial response is absolutely, I can certainly help you out. But I gotta know, in your opinion, what's one of the first questions that you ask somebody or you'll respond to them with when you're trying to help them out and getting to know and get into a gaming PC?
So one of my first questions is always go to what are you looking for, or what are you looking to get out of your PC? Are you looking to maybe stream, maybe like a lot of your friends stream and you kind of want to get into that world? Are you looking to just strictly game? Are you looking to even just do workstation PC, just maybe Google Docs, nothing too fancy, but just need something that can run those items? I mean, those are my first three initial questions. Which of those are you going to be wanting to get out of your PC?
For sure, yeah. And as we take a look at, some of the reasons why, somebody would want to get into a gaming PC. I know for me, some of the experience truly is just about the quality of the game that you get. I grew up on consoles, right? This is, new for me to be, basically gaming 100% on my PC over the last few years. And I'm sure there's probably a lot of people that have, been gaming for years on their PC, or maybe they're switching from console. But that's what we're here today to talk about a little bit as we do this, Tune Up Tuesday. We're going to really dive into the software related to get your PC either up and running or moving in the right direction in terms of getting you on to your game. So, Manny, let's take a look at the chat, man. Let's see what we've got.
Let's do it. We got tons of chat going on.
We do. We got some good chats coming in with some good questions. You know what? What's the first thing that you would need if you're going to install Windows on a computer? If you just let's say we just finished a build, what's the first thing you would want to have?
So first thing you would want to have is primarily a little USB. Gosh, I forgot off the top of my head what they're called. There we go. Perfect. You pulled it up.
Like a USB flash drive.
Yep,
right?
USB flash drive. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's that primarily, and honestly, you don't even need a ton of storage space on it. Just enough to transfer Windows from that onto your new build, onto your new PC. And those, I mean, $5. I mean, not expensive at all.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, I think the Windows itself is actually pretty, it's a small file. I want to say it's only about 6 to 8 gigabytes worth of data. So I think they recommended like a 16 gigabyte USB flash drive. Even the 8 gigabyte, I think would probably cut it for you.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that'd be plenty. So is that what you use?
Yes, that is exactly what I use, and I mean, kind of my go-to for that one is Amazon. They have a bunch of packages on there for like $5 for those flash drives. But I mean, if you're looking for something to install Windows with, I mean, that's gonna be your go-to.
Let's see. Yeah, look, yeah, they even recommend, says must have
Nice.
9 gigabytes of free disk space. I think I had an 8 gig flash drive that I was using. Eventually upgraded to a 16 gig, no problem. But yeah, that's not bad at all. So one of the crazy parts about this is, as I was loading up and installing Windows on some computers, I think the first thing that I kind of recognized was how simple it was to install Windows on a computer.
And the nice thing about that is that it's pretty self-explanatory. Honestly, you just plug in the flash drive, boot up your PC, and it'll pretty much just tell you right then and there.
Yeah, for sure. One of the other questions, Manny, that I saw pop up in chat was, do you have to pay for Windows, or do you have to pay for a license? Like, is there any cost associated to this? So, when you talk about getting Windows, and we go back to, how you can install Windows, Windows software is essentially free. Am I correct?
Correct, 100%.
Okay. So you can download from this, right? Download directly from Microsoft. Once you've got your USB flash drive, you can install it into another laptop or a computer that you can easily download this file from. And you're going to click download now. And what this will do is this will actually run a program that will install the Windows installation application onto your USB flash drive. You know what? Let's see what happens if I click this. I know I've already got it, but I'm curious to see what this will do for me. So it's an executable file. Yep. So not bad there. Let's see here. No, I'm not going to run this. Oops. Okay. Yep. There we go. So I don't want to run this because we don't run into that situation. So once you've downloaded it, then you can easily open up that file, and you're going to run the application. And like I said, it will continue to go through next steps, hit OK a couple times, and it will essentially install the Windows installer software onto that USB flash drive. Now, Manny, any other things that I need to get Windows on my computer? I mean, is that essentially it? I just need a USB flash drive and this install software?
Honestly, that is it. Pretty much as you show, just follow those steps, go into that Windows 11 website. Simple as that. Click download, download into your flash drive, connect it into your PC, and then follow the prompts.
Okay, gotcha. One of the questions I had pop up once before was, what happens, or what would you do if you went to install this, plug it into your computer, and like it boots into BIOS? Like, what happened? Like, how do we get past the BIOS screen, even though I plugged in my USB into my computer and I've got Windows installed on it? Like, what do I do from there?
So on your BIOS screen, definitely make sure that you have a storage unit so your Windows flash drive can install into that storage unit. Kind of referencing back to yesterday's video in terms of which is better, HDD, SSD, or NVMe. I mean, we kind of saw the numbers and just kind of outright NVMe was the way to go. But so long as you have a storage device on there, that's where you can go into BIOS, hit that download button for that storage device, and then plug in that flash drive from there.
Yeah, I was kind of looking to see if there was an image that would show us on that. So, oh yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that's what we're looking for, right? Is we want to be able to get into there, and so if you plug in a USB flash drive, you've got a fresh computer you just built, or maybe you've got a computer that's having some drive errors and you can't seem to get past it. Plug in that USB. Go in when you're in the BIOS. This is what he was talking about. You're going to find that boot drive option, and you want to select the USB flash drive that you have inserted. Once you do that, if you reset, you got to go back up and save and exit. Once you do that and the computer reboots, it should then boot up into using that flash drive and directly into the Windows install software. Now, Manny, what would you do? Here's another question that I think I saw in one of the chats. What would you do if the software fails during install?
Oh, that's a big one. So that's I know that actually happens sometimes with Windows.
Sure does.
Power it off. Just kidding. So
Back off.
yeah, sometimes it works, but no. I mean, that's I feel like it's a pretty wide question.
Sure.
When it comes to just like what happens whenever that occurs, I mean, there could be a couple things that could be going on with your PC. I mean, potentially, some cables are possibly not plugged in correctly. I mean, especially with it being like the first boot up for that PC, potentially you might need to update your motherboard, your BIOS. So I mean, and that's kind of again why we're here to like kind of go over those options of like what it could be. That way you don't just start panicking, power off your PC and then it never powers back on again.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? You actually bring up a really good point. I forgot to mention, and I want to start mentioning that at the beginning of our streams each night. Is that's what we're here for. That's why we're doing this. Is this is for you guys. We want to be able to help answer your questions along the way, live each night, right? We put together computers, we help customers out. I get questions all the time about how do I do this? How do I do that? How can I fix this? How can I update this? And one of the things that we decided to do was instead of taking the time to answer one person's question all by themselves directly to them, we wanted to be able to broadcast it on a wider array of audience on a live studio, and give a lot of people the chance to tune in live so they can get that same question answered, or to go back and watch this if they're watching this at a later time to listen in and see if this helps you out, because we do get a lot of people that have the same types of questions or the same issues that we're running into as well. And I know that I've run into that same problem. I have gone to install Windows, and unfortunately, it crashes in the middle of it. The first thing that I usually try to do with that is I'll try to plug the USB flash drive back in to my other PC or my other laptop. I want to make sure that the Windows installer got on there properly. So I just open up the drive itself on the file. I'll just go up to your file on your desktop, open it up real quick, and then just to make sure that you've actually click on the USB flash drive, just to make sure that the Windows install software actually got on there. Once I verify that it's there, I'll actually take it back over, plug it into my PC, and try again and see from there. But hey, look, if you're running into issues as you install your Windows software, or maybe it's not loading up, drop some comments in the comment section and we'll get back to you. Or tune in each night at 9 o'clock with us, and we'll try to answer your questions live on the air.
Absolutely.
What else, Manny? So we've got our USB, plugged it in. Looks like we're getting our Windows about to install. It's running through smoothly. Hey, do I need to have Wi-Fi for this? I bought a motherboard that didn't have Wi-Fi. It didn't have Wi-Fi or Bluetooth built into the back. Do I need to have Wi-Fi or any kind of an internet connection in order to install Windows?
Great question. So again, it definitely depends on what type of motherboard you have, but I mean, even for some of them, I mean, Windows automatically downloads to the motherboard, so you don't need a direct connection for your internet, for your Wi-Fi. Of course, it will download some software, which I mean, internet does helps depending again on the motherboard.
Yeah, and one thing that I've seen is as you're doing that, you can actually, there is it's probably like 2 pages in or 2 slides in after you first get your Windows welcome screen, and it says, welcome to your new PC with Windows installed, and you click next and you kind of continue. There is a page where it will walk you through, and it's trying to connect to the internet. Like, it keeps trying it. And man, it didn't used to do that. It used to just let you kind of bypass it, but now it really tries to connect. If you have Wi-Fi or if you have an Ethernet, plugged in, it will literally force you to connect. It recognizes that you've got some sort of internet connection, and it will force you to connect and force you to set up an account and everything like that. If you don't, if the motherboard doesn't have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth built in, and you don't have your Ethernet cable plugged in, there's a chance that it won't recognize any kind of internet. And I have noticed there's been a few times where it will let you kind of bypass from there. So I want to see if it'll pull that up. So bypass internet Windows 11 setup. I want to see if there's what we pull up for that, because that's one thing that I always kind of end up having. So with something like that. So yeah, this is the screen that I'm talking about. This is the one that always used to kind of get me, right? As I'm setting it up, you're trying to set up Windows, and you get to this screen right here, right? So if you've got Wi-Fi, if you've got internet, it's trying to connect. One of the things that I have seen before is it will allow you to, if you don't have any internet, and Manny, this is still, from what I've seen, like there's a small little spot down here where it'll let you
Yep.
actually bypass. Is that correct?
Correct.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. Like it'll let you bypass or like continue on without internet, and it lets you kind of continue on from there. So once you do that, it will ask you for some sort of Microsoft account or create a Microsoft account to get set up. It's not a big deal. You can kind of go through. I think it does is that an Outlook or a Live that Windows will ask you to create, or if you have an existing email, you can kind of use from there. What else, Manny? We're almost there. We're almost to the point where we got our PC up and running with some Windows software. Let's see. We've already talked about what if the Windows fails. Drivers and updates, BIOS schedule. Talk about that in just a second as we get to that next step. Minimum requirements. Okay. All right. You know what? This is actually a really good question. I've run into this a few times. Manny, how about you? Run into minimum requirements minimum specs don't meet the requirements to set up Windows?
A lot of questions on that too. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. So Windows cannot install not meeting minimum requirements. Yeah. And that's one of the errors I get quite often as we're working on that. Let's see what this is here. Yeah. That's a big one, especially for Windows 11. I never used to see that. Like this is something like after doing this for so long, it's sometimes it's almost like just as easy as brushing your teeth. But man, when Windows 11 started doing this to me, I'm telling you, man, I wanted to pull my hair out, man. It was so frustrating because I'm like, wait, what's going on? And
which part is it?
Right, and yeah, right. Which component? But then I'm sitting here looking at my computer. I'm like, wait a minute, no. I've got a brand new motherboard. I've got an RTX 5070 in here. I've got DDR5 RAM. I was like, there's no way. Like this can't be happening to me where I'm getting an error saying my PC doesn't meet minimum requirements, because I know I just tuned a laptop from 5 years ago. That's a 5-year-old laptop that's running Windows 11. So don't tell me that these new components won't meet the requirements. So have you run into this issue lately?
Honestly, I haven't really with Windows 11 too much, but I have had a couple questions where I mean people have just tried and that exact screen pops up.
Yeah. Do you know that there's a workaround for this? Have you seen that?
I have not actually.
No? Okay, cool. Something that maybe we'll dive into on another episode on a Tune It Up Tuesday. But we'll talk about how to get past this. And interestingly enough, it's simply just the bootloader, code that Windows is trying to run through. And there's a back door that you can get, so you can actually bypass this. So if you're running into this, you know what, drop some comments in the chat, or reach out to us and let us know. Hit us up. Let us know that you need some help. If you're running into your new PC that you just put together is not allowing you to install Windows 11 due to system requirements, and you're like, WTF, this can't be right, because I know that I've got a brand new set of components here. Hit us up, let us know, we'll walk you through some steps on how to bypass that and get you up and running on Windows 11 in no time. So you know what, I was actually pretty impressed. I tried it a couple times, couldn't figure it out on my own, eventually just ended up finding a quick video on it on some things that you have to do. It's pretty simple. It's like 3 or 4 steps. Took me about 40 seconds to do, and boom, I'm in right past it. Didn't have to worry about it. So
Easy as that.
yeah, man. All right, chats. What else we have going on? Again, we don't have a whole lot of live viewers right now, guys. So as you're seeing this, if you're checking this video out later on, this is where we're asking you guys, if you want to join us nightly from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central, this is what we're looking for. You can come in here anytime, join us on the live stream, pop in here, hang out with us for a little bit, ask some questions about your computer, your software. It's Tune It Up Tuesday. We're talking all about Windows and how to get it set up. If you've got questions, let us know. Like, this is the time for you. We do this for you. We want to be able to answer your questions live on the air and talk about how we can get you guys set up. So again, if you're running into Windows 11 setup issues, let us know. We'd love to help you out. Let's see. Oh, that's a good one. Just popped up right there. A product key. Okay, that's a good one because that actually kind of goes through. Once you get past the whole, Windows 11 doesn't like your brand new components that you have issues, and you're good to go. You click OK a couple times, and boom, it starts installing the software. So it's pretty awesome. It's going to pop up and ask you if you have a Windows key. So Manny, talk to me, buddy. What's the deal with the Windows software key? Do I need a key to get Windows going on my PC?
So amazing thing about Windows is pretty much as you mentioned, it's a free software out there for pretty much anyone who would like to use it, put it on their flash drive, get that installed in their PCs. All once you are in that part where it's ask you submit Windows product, there's a little button at the bottom that says I do not have a Windows key. Click that. Perfect. No issues. Continue to the next step.
Yep, that's it. That's it. It's actually pretty awesome. Again, I've never been one to just say, oh yeah, I absolutely love this or that, or I'm not going to get into the whole debate on Windows versus Apple and things like that. But as Manny said, it's pretty simple. So when you take a look at what he was saying, so it's going to pop up here and ask you for a product key as you're installing Windows 11, and then right down here, just I don't have a Windows product key. You hit that, and it just moves you on forward. It keeps going. Now, for those of you guys who are like, oh, that's not true, you have to have a Windows key. Okay, you don't have to have the key in order to get Windows on your computer up and running. But, Manny, if I don't put in the Windows key, what happens, or what is the potential that happens to my PC as I eventually get it up and running?
So one of the things that sometimes a lot of customers have is a little watermark that states, hey, you don't have the Windows product key. It can get a little annoying at times, but I mean that's kind of nearing the end once you like fully download your software onto that PC. But that's what kind of differentiates it and doesn't allow you to like fully customize your PC sometimes.
Yeah, and I was going to look that up right now. So what will Windows not allow me to do if I don't, let's say put in a Windows key, right? If I don't have a key. So I'm curious to see like just what some of the top things are here. We'll take a look. Man, you gotta love just the Windows search here. So personalization of restrictions, that's one of the first things that I've seen happen. And again, when you do a brand new build, it's going to pop up and ask you for that Windows key. For me, I don't know about you, Manny, but 99% of the time, even when I've got a key and I'm doing a brand new build, I skip that part. I skip it at first just to get into Windows. I just want to get the PC up and running, make sure everything's good, test it out. There's been a couple times, I'm going to admit, I am not a perfect human being, and I have sent the computer out the door with a customer, with somebody, a client that bought a computer from me. Not even kidding you. So you already know you already know where I'm going with this.
I already know where you're going.
About 30 minutes later, I'm not kidding you. My phone blows up. Hey, I can't change my background. I can't adjust this. I can't change that. Like, what's going on? It says I need a Windows key. I'm like, I am so sorry. I apologize. I'm sending that key to you right now. I should have set that up. My bad. I missed it. I got you. No problem. But that is one of the first things that, unfortunately, you cannot do. It will restrict you. It's simply just even changing your wallpaper. Like, it will not change it from anything other than just those few default pages that are in there. So I know for a fact that that's one of them, because that's one of the biggest complaints that I get from the people that I get these PCs out to, is I know that if I forget that Windows key, I'm going to hear about it pretty quickly. So how about you?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, really, I know sometimes a lot of customers they specifically even ask, hey, just don't install the license. I mean, I don't need it. I don't want to change my background. I mean, saves them a couple dollars, but yeah. I mean, definitely where you've been at. I mean, just whenever it's not there and someone wants to change their background, it is obvious.
Yeah, the background, and then as you called it out earlier, right, the watermark definitely pops up. I think more than anything, that's the annoying thing for me.
Yes.
Because that watermark, it stays, and it does not go. I mean, it's there during everything. Like, even some of the games you play, it stays.
Yep.
Like, it doesn't go away. So for those of you that are wanting to stream, or you're doing some screen capture while you're doing that, if you set your PC up and you don't put that key in, it may not pop up right away, but eventually that watermark's going to appear in the bottom corner of your screen right down here, and you are not going to like it. It's going to be annoying as heck. Somebody like me with that OCD, it definitely bothers me. So Yeah, nagging message. Oh yeah, it definitely pops up every so often and says, hey, you have not activated your Windows yet. Put your key in. And then no access to some additional features. Yeah, depending on what features you're looking for. I haven't played too much with those because generally it's the first two that kind of remind me, oh yeah, oh snaps, I got to go back in and add that key in. And it's very, very simple. So you know what? That's a perfect opportunity to talk about that, Manny. So we've got our Windows 11 installed. We went through the install process. We got everything in. All of a sudden, boom, there's our new Windows computer up and running. We've got our Windows wallpaper, and this is a very basic version of Windows, right? So before we talk about installing the key, I think back to the chat, there was one, right there, software bloatware, right? Installing bloatware and all this extra stuff.
Ooh.
So Manny, what do you get when you use this type of process for installing Windows? Let's say Windows 11, right? We're installing Windows 11 to a computer. What's going to pop up on my screen once I get my computer loaded into my desktop?
So there's always going to be, and I mean, Windows 11 actually does a pretty fantastic job at eliminating already a lot of bloatware, which is the nice part about using that program. But as soon as you kind of load into that PC, it'll just give you a prompt like, hey, do you want to install this antivirus or so on. I mean, with Windows 11, I've honestly never had an issue. the issues start whenever I start downloading those antiviruses and then get a whole bunch of messages after that, which is funny how it's a little bit counterintuitive when it comes to that.
Yeah, and to be honest, like I said, it's Windows 11 has done a pretty darn good job of keeping it minimum. And then as you said, like it basically installs you with very few applications. It's basically just enough to run your computer. I think you're looking at maybe a few apps on there that are part of the Windows or Microsoft. You've got your Internet Explorer, you've got a trash can on your desktop, and that's about it. So it really is amazing. Now, it still takes up some additional space on your drive because Windows, it's not just 9 gigs. Once it fully installs, actually, it's been a while since I've taken a look at that. Manny, what do you think? How much total room does the Windows 11 complete operating system actually take up once you've installed it?
I can actually look at that right now. Let me do that.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've looked at that. I always tell customers, I'm always telling people, I got you a 1 terabyte card or a 2 terabyte card. But, and then of course we know that the software itself is already eating up some of that space. What does Windows 11 actually eat up?
Correct. Yeah. And I mean, that's, again, kind of referencing yesterday's video, kind of why we recommend that 1 terabyte, since especially Windows already takes some of that.
For sure.
Let me look at my settings here.
Yeah, I'm curious. And as Manny pointed out, this is exactly why, look, a 256 gig, SSD or M.2 drive to start with is probably not going to cut it for you, especially if you're wanting to get into some gaming with the newer games, or doing any kind of software or streaming software. You're going to need more than that. So, what did you find out? You pulling it up still?
There we go. So the program files is 300 gigabytes.
Whoa, yeah, that's
yeah.
I was gonna say I know it's quite a bit. So yeah, I'm curious. So that's on your computer. How much space for Windows 11 install? I mean, it says minimum 64 gigs, but yeah, I think it even says right there, average is between 80 to 100 minimum. To just get started. So you're, like I said, maybe not quite fully true, right? But it says more space is definitely better. But it's, you need a lot of room for Windows 11. I think the average is probably I don't even know. I think I've seen it as low as like 40 gigs, maybe 50 gigabytes for just once you get Windows installed and then done. But from there, then all of a sudden, if you do anything else, as soon as you start browsing, right, it starts saving cookies and all sorts of offline stuff. So, pretty crazy when you kind of take a look at it from there. So, awesome, man. All right. 9:30. Let's take a look. All right, let's do this. We are going to jump over. We're going to get back to our chat and continue on with our Tune Up Tuesday. But before we do, we're going to jump over real quick and talk about our Patreon that we have.
I love this part.
Yeah.
All right. Before we dive into the next round of technical requests, we want to give a quick shout out to our Patreon supporters. You might see that link flashing below or someone in the chat with a special badge. So, what is Patreon and why should you consider joining?
Patreon supporters get some really cool perks. Let's break them down to see which one works best for you. The Observer this is the one where you get to kind of customize the streams a little bit. It's perfect for those who just wish to kind of vote on future topics as we discussed. Jump in here, join the chat, and kind of help us roll through as we continue our nightly streams. The Priority, it's an exclusive stream for this tier and higher, where questions get placed at the top of the list, so you get priority when it comes to getting your questions answered. The Deep Dive, if you have an in-depth question that really needs to get answered and we got more time to answer it, this is one for you. It includes premium content and live question and answers. And then last but not least, it's not pictured on here, but we have the VIP for our diehard fans. If you've been needing some one-on-one assistance and have never been given the opportunity, or maybe you don't know where to turn, we are here for you. This is the ultimate tier. We've got you.
And these are all amazing options, just kind of for whatever you're looking for to get out of your PC building experience. Whether again you're new, you're an expert. I mean, at the end of the day, simply put, Patreon is how you directly support the TRL stream. If you love the stream and want to become a core part of the TRL community, check out the link in the description, or just type !Patreon in the chat to see all the tiers. Thank you for all the support, whether you're donating, subscribing, or just hanging out. Now let's get back to solving those next issues.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so where were we? We were talking about keys, right? We just got our Windows installed. We were talking about the space that it takes up. We're all pretty angry because we just dropped, I don't know, $100 on a solid, 1 terabyte, super blazing fast M.2 SSD. And there goes a quarter of our space already. Dang, man, that's tough. Okay, but the good news is, as you guys, followed through, and hopefully you listened to our advice, you got the 1 terabyte card, so you've got enough space to get you going. So next up, we've got that key, right? Maybe we didn't do the key activation during the Windows setup, but we've got our Windows key. So where do we do that at? How do we get that and ensure that our Windows is activated? How do we get our ability to get that stupid little watermark off our screen and get the ability to change our wallpaper to our favorite artist, Taylor Swift? I don't know, right? We're trying to change our background to something, but I want to be able to change it. I don't want just the Windows one. I want something else. So when we take a look and we're looking at how do we get our Windows screen on there. Nope, I don't want to take advantage of that offer. It's pretty simple, right? So you're just going to go on down into your search box there, and you can just type in activation is the keyword that I usually type in. Manny, yep, same thing?
Absolutely. That search bar is super helpful.
Yep, type in activation, and from there, that's going to pop up this little box, and it's going to say, hey, your Windows is currently not activated. Click on that, click on activate, boom, you pop your key in there. Now, hopefully you got a good key. Hopefully you didn't buy it off of Facebook, just the key itself. The keys are tough because, the way it works, and correct me if I'm wrong, Manny, is the key follows the motherboard, not the computer chip, not the graphics card, not even the user. It actually follows the motherboard. Is that correct?
That is correct, yeah. Okay. It follows the motherboard. I mean, of course, all the components do play a bit of a role when it comes to your actual key. But I mean, even just swapping out, just one, like you said, graphics card, CPU. I mean, that's totally fine. That won't disrupt it at all.
Awesome. And I give you guys a fair warning. I'm not kidding. I have seen people try to advertise and try to sell Windows keys on Facebook. Now, I know there's plenty of websites out there. You can get them from, you can get them from Amazon. If you're interested in getting that or a better deal on that, we do have our affiliate link down below, whether you're looking for your Windows key or any other, computer parts, or even if you're looking for a good deal on some monitors or something. Like, we do have our affiliate links down below in the description. Please, we ask if you're following along on our stream and you want to help support the channel, use those links. We really appreciate it. But I would really advise you to find your Windows key from at least a certified website. do not buy them off Facebook because, as Manny said, there's a very good chance that they could give you any kind of fake random key. And it follows the motherboard. So if they're, if they're using it on theirs and they sell their PC and then they're trying to give you their Windows key, well, that PC that they sold is still currently using that Windows key. That's not how it works. So just be cautious about where you pick up your Windows 11 or Windows 10 software. Have you ever experienced that, Manny? You ever run into any issues with key?
Thankfully, no. But I mean, just as usual, I always have heard stories. I mean, sometimes saving $10 is not worth the risk.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, good news. We are up and running. We have our Windows 11 PC. Our desktop is looking clean. I finally got my Ninja Turtle / Taylor Swift background up and running because I got my Windows key in there. Manny, am I ready to game? Is it game time?
Great question. So we got most of it set up. Now we do still, of course, have a couple more drivers to download. More specifically, the graphics card driver. That is a big one that a lot of people forget about.
Yes. Okay, drivers. So in terms of drivers, you mean like software, right? That's what we're talking about. It's a software.
Yes, correct.
What exactly? Why do I need this driver? What does it do? Like, why can't I just get in a game?
So typically, and I mean, this kind of works exactly how your phone would work, how your console would work, where it constantly needs updating. I mean, there's always bugs, always things that could happen with graphics cards, but companies do a fantastic job at keeping each graphics card, or the more recent ones, up to date as much as possible. I mean, just so that way gamers or streamers can have that latest technology available to them, but that way it's always up to date, up to speed, less buggy, and the most optimal in terms of performance possible. I mean, some games won't even let you play if you don't update your drivers. That's kind of how much they encourage you to update your drivers.
Yep, absolutely. I've actually run into that several times. And then for me, there's also, we'll talk about this maybe in another episode, right? I think that'd be a good topic for that is how to performance stress test your PC. What kind of software do I need for that? And how do I go about doing all that? But to Manny's point, there are certain software, certain games, certain stress test applications that will not even run until you've gotten the drivers and the software properly installed on your computer. Windows 11 does a pretty good job. Again, you're going to get a display, right? You're going to get a display. It's going to pop up, everything like that. You could probably head on over to YouTube and watch some videos, no problem. But as far as getting the best experience, as it says right here on the screen, oh my gosh, that worked out perfect. The best experience for every game. But in order to get that best experience, you've got to have the right drivers and the right software. So, if you know anything about computers, or if you don't, there's two primary, I guess manufacturers, not even manufacturers, but two different, makes of graphics card, two different developers. You've got NVIDIA, and then you've got AMD, their Radeon graphics. So, Manny, I've got them both right here, right? Here's the two different softwares that we're going to do. These are the ones that are specifically for your graphics card as you do these. So if you scroll down, right, so let's say an example, you've got an NVIDIA graphics card. And this could be all the way back from, I don't know, maybe you just recently purchased a computer off Facebook, came with a GTX, 1050. And you want to update the drivers, or maybe the person you bought it from completely reset the PC. You need to get up and running. This is where you do it from. The best part I like about this one is you don't actually both softwares, but you don't actually have to know your graphics card anymore. Is that correct?
Correct. Automatically does it for you.
Gotcha. Yes, I love it. So again, if you're not complete nerds like we are, and you don't know what computer you just bought, but you were told it's a good one, and all you know is it says NVIDIA on there, or it says GeForce on there, this is a software for you. And as Manny just said, it's pretty simple, right? You click download for desktop, and then boom, it goes. It automatically will download. It'll pop up in your top right for your downloads. You'll click run application, and after that, it will basically determine what graphics card you currently have up and running, and it will then pick the right software and install that software for you. Manny, what kind of graphics card you running right now?
Right now, I'm actually running a NVIDIA 4060 Ti.
4060 Ti, yep. So, if I'm Manny and I just got this PC with the 4060 Ti, I'm going to walk you through it. Pretty simple. I'm going to go to NVIDIA Game Force Game Ready Drivers, right? That's the key word that I always type in. Just type in Game Ready Driver. The very first option pulls up. You want to make sure you're getting it officially from NVIDIA. This is also something that's a little scary. There are plenty of websites out there that have no problem, acting as a clone to NVIDIA and AMD, and they will charge you for their software or for graphic driver software. It's ridiculous. You don't have to pay a dime. This is all provided from these manufacturers for free because you bought their product. So whether you picked up an old PC on Facebook or, like Manny, maybe you just built a PC and you've got a 4060 Ti that you just slapped in there and you're ready to game, first thing you need to do is let's get you the right software. So download for desktop, run the application, very simple. Go through a couple OKs. I don't think you even have to sign in for anything anymore. They used to require an account. Now you don't even have to do that. A couple pop-ups. It'll pop up, say custom install, no problem. And boom, you've got your graphics drivers. Now, Manny, I've had this happen a couple times, actually quite a few times, but I'm installing this for a client, helping them out with their PC, and I go and install graphics drivers. All of a sudden, like their screen flashes and blacks out and stuff like that. Is that normal?
Great question. That is perfectly normal. So once your graphics card is updating, it's going to pretty much update the entirety of the graphics card. So it is rewriting, that updates within the graphics card, and if that happens, it'll even tell you at the bottom there as well, like screen may flash or an installation. That is perfectly normal. I will say, sometimes it just completely stops halfway. That would kind of be where we come in terms of helping how to fix that. But in terms of like just flashing, that's perfectly normal.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, let's say on the flip side, you're an AMD fan, right? You're Team Red, and maybe you picked up a 9070 XT, something like that. Or maybe you picked up an RX 580 because it was $50 on Facebook and you're upgrading your PC that didn't have a graphics card. Whatever it may be, this is the software for you. Again, it's a quick search. AMD Adrenaline. That's all I have to search for. First thing that pops up, make sure it's the official AMD website. And then same kind of process. Download the AMD Adrenaline software. It'll download a file, open up that file, click run, click install. I don't know, what's the time frame on most of these? Between both of them, it's about the same time, but how much time do you think total to install some graphics drivers?
So to download the actual software, probably like 30 seconds. And as you click on the actual website to update your actual graphics card, I want to say maybe like 2 minutes max. So it's a super simple process. What I always recommend a lot of my clients, just one time per week, go in there and just make sure that is fully up to date. Takes 2 minutes to do that.
And the one thing that you want to kind of pay attention to is, again, you'll know that you got it from the right website is if you go to download, and it should just download exactly this, right? If you start downloading any other random files, or it downloads another application that says installer, you need to stop that, pause it, cancel it, and go back and try again. Do not install anything that's not from these two official websites right here. Again, they're completely free. There's no charge for this at all. And then, as Manny said, once you do install it, check it every so often to ensure that you've got the most up-to-date driver moving forward. They update these quite a bit. As he said, sometimes it could be weekly that they've got different software updates. Doesn't mean you have to do it. You're not required to. Once you've got the base software, you're usually pretty good to go. But the updates can obviously fix a lot of glitches or issues. And as I was scrolling down, the one thing that I also wanted to kind of call out, and we talked about this on our previous episodes, but different manufacturers and different designers, creators, game developers, right? They will use either AMD products or NVIDIA products as they do their development. So another thing that you want to kind of keep in mind is once you've downloaded the graphics drivers is, run your tests. Ensure that you're meeting, you know, the expectations that you should have for these games. Now, again, you're going to see some really big differences between, you know, the products that you have. If you're rocking a really old, you know, GTX 1050 graphics card versus Manny's 4060 Ti, you're going to notice a huge performance, you know, gap for sure. But what I mean by that is just pay attention and ensure that these games, again, and this is why I kind of highlight these games. So these games are specifically sponsored, I shouldn't say sponsored, but these games are specifically developed with NVIDIA in mind and their product. And then on the AMD side, right, they've got their games and stuff that are specifically designed to go along with their product. So, you know, also something to check out too, before you even start your PC, before you ever go buy that PC, take a look. What kind of games do you want to get into? Now, the age-old question of which one is better, right? Team Green or Team Red? To be honest with you, I build both all the time. I get some customers like, I have to have this one or I have to have the other. No big deal, Manny. I'm sure you would agree. Like they're all the same, right? They truly are. You know, they'll get you to where you're going. It's just one's going to have a little bit more oomph in this game. The other one's going to have a little bit more oomph in that game.
Correct.
All right, so we've got our graphics cards, drivers installed. We are up and running there. Let's take a look. Go back to the chat. Let's see anything else. Product key we talked about. Install, how long it takes. Clean install. That's more or less if you're kind of doing an upgrade, right? There's a difference between clean install and doing an upgrade where you don't lose any of your stuff. We talked about what happens if it fails. Updating driver BIOS and drivers. BIOS files, again, new computers, you probably won't need to worry about that all that much. Actually, okay, there we go. That's one. So, in the topic of extra drivers, so Manny, we've installed Windows, we're up and running, we've got our graphics drivers installed. Are there any other drivers that I may need or want?
Typically, I mean, your motherboard, your kind of whole setup are kind of already set up to a lot of times even automatically just download everything that is needed. Sometimes it's just graphics card. Of course, again, it depends on the motherboard. I mean, some of them do require a little bit more in terms of drivers to be installed. So it's definitely motherboard specific to kind of answer your question.
Yeah, no, that's good. Well, okay, so here's a perfect example, right? And sometimes this happens to us. I'm sure many's run into this as well. We're building a PC. It's got a Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built into the motherboard, right? They're in there. You've got the two round gold connectors. You've got your antennas plugged in, everything like that. But then as you go through the Windows install, it doesn't recognize Wi-Fi. There's no Wi-Fi available, right? Sometimes, you know, and it's far and few between, but sometimes when you install Windows, and maybe it's because the motherboard was programmed differently, maybe it's because of the BIOS, anything like that. Could be a number of reasons. But there's a chance where it doesn't recognize your Wi-Fi. It doesn't recognize Bluetooth, right? You go down to the bottom right corner of your computer and you're over there like, oh, where's my Wi-Fi? It's not popping up. What's going on? And you know that you bought a motherboard with Wi-Fi or Bluetooth built in. So as Manny said, this would be one of those rare times where you probably want to go ahead and go to the manufacturer's website to download drivers. So Manny, how do I do that? Like, how do I know, like, okay, am I just searching for this or what do I do?
So it really depends on, I guess, which route you use to obtain the PC. I mean, there's kind of two more common options. Either one, you either build your own PC, or two, you purchase a PC, kind of a used PC, you know, maybe off a marketplace. If it's purchased, you can go into your BIOS and it'll tell you specifically which model you have of motherboard. A lot of people try to go into settings, like you have to go specifically to the BIOS, which of course we can show that later on as well, how to access BIOS from your menu. And then secondly, if you custom build your PC, I mean, it'll be right there on the box, on the manual, what model number, and then you can go directly to the website, search up that model number, and then it'll give you all the information necessary for that motherboard.
Oh, yep. And, you know, one of the previous episodes we talked about using the B650, I think it was, Wi-Fi motherboard. Here we go. This is a perfect example. We've got Wi-Fi built into this motherboard. That's why it's labeled as Wi-Fi. But yet, when we got onto the computer, it's not giving us an internet connection. So, or via Wi-Fi. So at that point, unfortunately, you'll need an Ethernet cable and you'll need that line. Plug it in, connect up to the internet, and then that's what you're going to be looking for. Is you're going to go to this website, or actually just Google it, right? Google your motherboard. That's all you do is just type that in. Well, type in drivers, right? Type in your motherboard and then drivers at the end. And again, usually the very first one is going to be the actual manufacturer's website. From there, you get drivers and downloads. And this is where you're going to get some of those extra ones. Now, you've got your BIOS updates, right? So if you need the most latest up-to-date BIOS, which generally, I don't know, to be honest, about 99% of the time, I don't think I ever have to update that. Like that's not something I update when I'm installing anything on my new computers or doing custom builds. What I do have to do sometimes, and this happens, is perhaps Windows just didn't recognize, the chipset and the rest of it along with it. So I will go through then driver, and one at a time, I'm going to download and install the latest drivers for each of these. I'm going to do my AMD chipset, right? Because I did a B650, which is for my, Ryzen 5, Ryzen 9s, or Ryzen 5 series. Ryzen 5, 9000, 5000, I can't remember which one the 650 works for. I think it's all of them. I think it's all those ones. So
yeah, Ryzen 5.
Download your chipset drivers. You've got your VGA drivers. Again, this is going to be your graphics card drivers that also come along with the motherboard and your AMD. You want those as well, so download those as well. Audio drivers. And this is a perfect one. I ran into this issue. So I did a complete custom build for a customer, and the headsets that I have that I use to test the PCs out with, everything worked fine, no problem. This customer came by, picked it up, went on their way, they got home. They were trying to use a sound bar with it, and unfortunately their sound bar, it wasn't working. Something between the sound bar and the new Windows installer did just wasn't connecting. So I had the customer go through this, and we re-downloaded and reinstalled the Realtek audio driver from their website through the motherboard website, and boom, within about 10 minutes after he did the driver update, reset his PC, he was good to go. Now remember, on this one, we're talking about missing Wi-Fi, and here, this is going to be under your LAN drivers. So you've got your Bluetooth, your Ethernet, and your Wi-Fi. If these two are working just fine, I'm good to go. My Bluetooth populated up, and I've got internet now because I plugged in my cable, but I cannot get Wi-Fi. This is my spot. Here's my solution right here, and this is what we're going to help you guys out with. So hopefully this helped you. I know there's a lot of new builders out there. You get up and running, and all of a sudden you're like, I got no internet, or I've got no Bluetooth, or man, my Wi-Fi, or like I've got everything but sound. Like, what's going on? This is where you want to start. This is where you want to start. Manny, anything else on the motherboard drivers? Anything else on what we might cover on that?
Motherboard, really, I think it'll be probably like in a later video. I know we went over the drivers, softwares necessary. A lot of people, go a little bit deeper, like for example, fan speeds. I know yesterday we mentioned that a lot of graphics cards are pretty beefy, so kind of need to protect that. But again, definitely in another video. But just kind of stay tuned for that.
For sure, yeah. And look, we'll do an episode. I mean, there's so much to do in the BIOS.
Yeah.
We'd probably take a whole episode to go through BIOS, and we'll take some time. So if you've got questions about your BIOS or anything like that, drop them in the comments. Tune in with us, and we'll do what we can to help you out. But that's a whole nother episode that we can certainly cover for that. So at this time, man, we're going to take a second here real quick to kind of talk about our sponsor. It's glitchon.com, so glitch-on.com. This week we're talking about their Intel i5 14th gen with the RTX 5068 gigabyte graphics card. This one's got 32 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM with a B660 motherboard. And look at that, the ever so popular 1 terabyte M.2 drive that gets your Windows up and running within seconds, and plenty of storage. Plus, there's that Wi-Fi and Bluetooth that we've been talking about. And guess what? Now, if you guys get this and you get it set up and all of a sudden your Wi-Fi's not working, you know where to go. You know how to get your drivers downloaded. So, Manny, I got a question for you. On a PC like this, what games would you expect this to be able to play, let's say at 1080p, like the highest settings?
Oh, at 1080p, there are tons and tons of games. With the 5060, I mean, being a PC builder, I mean, I have a 4060 Ti. I don't even have a 5000 series, and a lot of my games are working flawlessly.
For sure. Yeah.
But to give like some examples, I mean, right now you have on the screen Fortnite. That is a huge one. At 1080p, I mean, that'll kill the competition,
Yeah, for sure.
literally.
For sure, yeah. This is a solid one. And again, I know some
Yeah.
people are gonna, they're gonna go tough on the fact that it's a 5060. It's not a 5080 or a 5090. And look, not everybody's got thousands of dollars to throw just at a graphics card. Okay, so the 5060 matched with an i5 1410 is an awesome PC. For those of you guys who are interested, this PC is available over on glitchon.com. And right now, they've got a couple of offers going from all of their PCs, from whether it's 1080p all the way up to their 4K PCs. You can play now and pay later. They've got several different options for payment plans, from PayPal through SEMA, through Affirm, through Afterpay. Anything that you want for payment plans, they've got it. And right now, if you scan the code or even head on over to the website, you can use our code TRL10OFF and save 10% off your purchase today. So we want to say thank you again to glitchon.com for their sponsorship. We appreciate it. And with that, Manny, I think we are about done.
Absolutely. No, yeah. I mean, just going through the previous sponsorship. I mean, I really don't see a whole ton of options for payment plans, and I feel like that is huge whenever it comes to PC. I mean, a lot of people that can be a lot of money to just spend to get into the PC world, and having that help is huge.
Yeah, I mean, not everybody's got $1,000, $1,500 to drop right away on a PC. Maybe you're just getting up and going as a Twitch streamer, or you're trying to get something going. You don't want to fork over all that money for a PC, and you've kind of invested some funds into other areas to get your stream going. Not a problem. Glitchon.com. They've got plenty of payment plan options for you. Split those payments up. Something as simple as pay in 4, where you pay every 2 weeks, or even something as simple as where it's sometimes as inexpensive as $50 up front to get the PC shipped to you and get started on it today.
Absolutely. And as you mentioned, I know we keep on repeating this, but any additional questions you guys have, our viewers, let us know. We are super happy to help. I mean, again, that's why we're here. So we'll keep on with that in these next couple episodes. But just like that, the hour is up. We managed to cover several key questions, and I hope you learned something helpful. If you didn't get your question tonight, do not panic. This is a nightly stream for a reason. TRL is back again tomorrow night at the same time, 9 p.m. Central. Load up your questions and be here early to get them pinned in the chat.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and making this the best part of our weeknights. If this stream has helped you, please give the video a thumbs up on your way out. It seriously helps the channel grow. And if you haven't yet, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss a chance to get your technical requests answered with us. If you just want to send a quick one-time thank you, there's a tip donation link at the bottom. It should be right below the video. Every dollar helps us cover things like replacing aging hardware, paying for the software licenses, keeping up with the lights, making sure everything is here so we can be here with you every night. There's no expectation, but of course it's always hugely appreciated.
And lastly, if you're looking to build your PC and need new parts using our affiliate link, I know we didn't touch on that too much today, but it is super helpful. Using our affiliate link supports the channel and keeps us coming back to you nightly. Keep building, keep gaming, and we will see all of you tomorrow night for the next session of Technical Requests Live.